My name is Kamala Lopez. I'm the Executive Director of Equal Museum. On May 5th of 2021, the fate of 163 million Americans will be in the hands of one person, a judge in Massachusetts First District Court who will decide whether ERA ratification will be upheld and the amendment published or not. This isn't hyperbole. This is reality. Such is the low information landscape of the United States culture that most of you hearing this will have no idea what I am talking about. So let me just briefly bring us all up to speed. The Equal Rights Amendment, which was first introduced in 1923, was ratified by 38 states on January 21st of 2020 in the state of Virginia, which made it the 28th Amendment to the United States Constitution and the law of the land. The ERA states very simply that equality of rights under the law shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of sex. But under the calm surface of overwhelming support for equality between the sexes, 96% of Americans agree, and 80+% believe that that equality is already in the Constitution. But beneath that support, the feeding frenzy of 1,000 sharks determined to keep American women from achieving equal protection of our laws is roiling the bloody waters. Lately, when we speak of intersectionality, the prevailing discussions center around the supposed wedge between white women and women of color, or else the wedge between the LGBTQ plus community versus straight or cis women. But that is not what I want to focus on here today, because I believe that that is a strategic and manufactured conflict designed to keep us apart, keep us divided, with historical echoes from over a century ago in our fight for suffrage. The strategy to divide and conquer women has always been used against us to prevent us from uniting into a vast and virtually unstoppable political force. Let us not be fooled by these red herrings that are designed to pull focus from the obvious. The real intersectionality that is affecting the adoption of ERA is the intersection between white supremacy, male superiority theory, amoral capitalism, cronyism, and government corruption. The institutional hatred of women runs long and deep. It spans law enforcement, our court system, our Congress, and just about every single government institution in this country. If we were to truly look at women as a vast class, not subdivided and parsed out by age, race, sexual orientation, or any other factor, the bare, indisputable numbers say it all. Women are the class of people in America that it is okay to treat like the shit on the bottom of your shoe. It is okay to beat us, to rape us, to murder us with impunity, to the tune of 5 women dead every single day, a woman beaten every 9 seconds, and a woman raped every 2 minutes in the United States of America. I believe we accept this shocking reality as normal because we are suffering a collective delusion that American women are somehow not just equal, but privileged. We have bought in so completely to the dominant propaganda that we fail to recognize misogyny. Most of the time, it is blatantly evident. In fact, it is so prevalent and accepted in our society that it is practically invisible. And so, American women live in a perpetual state of cognitive dissonance, being raised to believe, on the one hand, that they're the luckiest women on earth, and yet experiencing multiple layers of substantive discrimination on a daily basis in their lives. So let us be clear. The United States is the only first world nation extant to deny women equal protection of its laws and equal treatment under them. The United States is the only first world nation to refuse to sign on to the international treaty CEDAW, which is the comprehensive elimination of discrimination against women, which would begin to address the substantive and extreme discrimination that most women face all over the world. The United States Supreme Court has repeatedly refused to support the human rights of American women because they claim there's no basis for it in our Constitution. They have said variously and in various ways that if the society now recognizes women as equal citizens, the Constitution must be modified to reflect those new values. So we're taught we must amend the Constitution. But when we do, we are told it's just not quite right. That we must go back and do it again. American women are in a circular maze that keeps them striving for something as basic as equal human and civil rights, while the United States government continues to milk this population for everything it possibly can. Votes, taxes, new citizens, sex without consent. Far be it for any nation state, let alone one purporting to be a democracy, to withhold that which God grants all human beings by dint of their very existence, human dignity and equality. But that is where we are in this new America, a country that operates fully in bad faith. Forget the big lie of the Trump administration losing the election of 2020. The United States is a big lie when it comes to women's equality. On May 5th, after 97 plus years of struggle and millions of women hours of organizing, of lobbying, grassroots work in all 50 states, a tiny group of rich, powerful white men and their allies will decide whether or not to collectively send women back to the drawing board for another century. How many of you believe that they're going to come down on our side? If you do, I got a bridge I can sell you. Our lawsuit, Equal Means Equal versus David Ferriero, is the last stand for the ERA. It has already been dismissed once for a lack of standing. And let me ask you, if women as a group don't have standing to fight for their own legal status, who does? And if it is dismissed again on May 5th, American women's last great hope for winning equal pay and stopping this pandemic of violence against us will die with that lawsuit. So what then, women? What will we do? Will we do what they're asking us to do and start over? Maybe bake them some cookies, take them over to the legislators? They laugh at us behind our back. They laugh at us. And I really hope we're not going to do it again. And I often wonder, why do women continue to go back to the wolves and ask them for the keys to the henhouse? Why do they continue to believe that the wolves will ultimately grant them justice and equality? What benefit would it be to the wolves? Foiling the Equal Rights Amendment is the quickest and most effective way to stop any real progress for women and enact their state-based strategies to bomb us back to the effing Stone Age. And on the way back, they plan to take from us any biological autonomy that we've managed to wrest from this government over the past 100 years. Control of our own bodies, presently under attack in states across the nation, is all the more easily taken away when you are still a second-class citizen under the Constitution. Forget the right to choose to terminate a pregnancy. The real target of those pushing to kill Roe versus Wade is to eliminate women's access to birth control. Listen to me. Once women can no longer take effective control of their biology, their future narrows to one where choice is a distant cousin to economic control by circumstance. This is obviously most effective on poor women and women of color that are suffering in extremis discrimination. And it's forcing them to double down on the multiple layers of discrimination they have to battle just to survive. So, radical change. And that means change that starts by addressing the root of the problem, involves radical thought and radical love. If women love our planet, our animals, our children, and yes, our men, then radical change is the only answer. Being brave goes hand in hand with radical change because powerful forces will continue to oppose us and try to force us to toe the line, to maintain the status quo. But women cannot acquiesce to bear the yoke of this oppressive and immoral system any longer. I, for one, refuse to accept the criminal conspiracy that the United States government and its courts are engaged in to prevent women from achieving equity. Obeying their illegal laws will not save us. Only true love for humanity, for the United States of America, for the principles upon which it was founded, can stop the cancer of bad faith and human greed that pose an existential threat not just to women, but to our species globally. I'm speaking today about the urgent need to publish, adopt, and enforce the Equal Rights Amendment to the United States Constitution, but this is simply the very first basic step necessary to begin to implement a new plan for this nation and for the world. Women must come together across borders, religions, races, language, culture, and all that would seek to divide us. We must recognize that only women have the desire, the intent, and the competence to build a better world for all of us. And if we are to succeed, we must begin to plan and work together now. If we are to build a new world and a new world order after more than a year of forcible change and reflection, let it be a female world. A world of creation and possibility, a world of shared opportunities and responsibilities, a world that tolerates differences but seeks to build on commonalities. Let us envision and build a future led by a mission of the common good. To learn more about my work and that of Equal Means Equal, please join us and follow us at equalmeansequal.org. Thank you.